Khanna, over the last few years, has just been a spectacular progressive champion, not only on issue after issue, taking strong progressive positions and supporting them and vocalizing his support for them, but also taking stands within the apparatus of the Democratic Party that have elevated the progressive movement inside the party, where he has also been a lead spokesman for the progressive movement. And so, Rev. Khanna, we are very honored to have you here. We are overjoyed by your, just the role you are playing in American politics. You are a great leader for 21st century America, and we're honored to give you the 2020 Tim Carpenter Award.
Well, thank you so much, and I am so honored by this award because of my respect for Tim Carpenter and what he stood for in his life of activism and progressive values, and what Progressive Democrats of America are doing. I saw it firsthand as a co-chair of Bernie Sanders' campaign. I mean, your organization across California, across the country, has really fought for the key values, and starting from an opposition to the Iraq War, which is how I started my career in 2004. I lost badly, but I really stood up against the Patriot Act, against the war in Iraq, and Progressive Democrats for America has been for a human rights-based foreign policy that is restraint-oriented, that does not get us into these foreign wars, to your advocacy for Medicare for all, the simple idea that people with dignity should not have healthcare dependent on their job. I mean, it's such a simple idea. How can you believe every person has dignity and then hold that the type of job you have and how fancy your job title is should dictate whether you get healthcare? And you have been advocates for making sure we have universal healthcare, Medicare extended to everyone. And at a time of a pandemic, that voice seems to finally be breaking through. And you've been advocates for $15 living wage, if not higher, and advocates for unions and making sure that working families who have been left behind, where worker productivity has increased 72%, but wages have stagnated, that they get their fair share, and that we have public education and investment in early childhood education and free public college and vocational education. All of the policies that I think are necessary to deal with the vast disparities in our country and to make America a just place and to have a just leadership in the world in the 21st century. So I am honored, obviously, by the award, but I'm even more honored by a sense of partnership between us to fight for the principles of the America we know and believe in. And let me focus this and end this with what's going on now, because we are in the fight of our lives. Anyone who is looking at the polls and has a sense of false contentment, I would just say that's a mistake. We can't underestimate this president's willingness to do anything and everything to win. I mean, he's basically mobilizing the apparatus of the federal government, of the United States government, on behalf of a political campaign. Everything from the Justice Department to the post office, every aspect of think of the awesome power of the United States government and think of the mobilization of that behind a particular candidate. And he's not even hiding it. I mean, the fact that he did his convention from the White House is as blatant an admission of the use of the apparatus of government for a campaign. So we are up against that. We're up against unknown factors such as the Supreme Court vacancy. And we have to do everything in our power to get our turnout high. He's going to have a very high turnout. We have to make sure we have a high turnout. And we have to do everything within our power to make sure that he does not get to cheat and appoint someone onto the court who doesn't have any justification of being there before the outcome of the November election. You know, this is total nonsense when McConnell is saying that his principle in 2016 only applied to when the Senate and the president were in opposite parties. And the reason we know it's nonsense, this ex post facto rationalization, is that Lindsey Graham and Rubio are on record in 2016 saying they would not support a Republican president putting a nominee forward in the year before the election year. And now we already have an election starting. So I was encouraged that Schumer said every option is on the table if the Republicans try something like this, but we have to be vocal. Every senator, every member of Congress saying absolutely not. no confirmation, no consideration now or in the lame duck session, and that it should be Joe Biden's choice to make once we make sure that he wins the election. So the fight on the court and making sure we don't have a 6-3 majority against us, which would, by the way, when I talk to progressives and they often sometimes say, well, what's the consequence of not electing Joe Biden? I said, you may have 20, 30 years of court that strikes down Medicare for all. I mean, it doesn't matter if we elect Bernie Sanders or whoever in 4 years, if you have a court that's going to continue to strike down every progressive legislation. So this fight is deeply consequential. We can't get the Medicare for all, Green New Deal, free public college without having a court that at least isn't going to be a Lochner era court and striking down any progressive policy. So making sure we win this fight with the court, making sure we win the fight against Trump is what I am dedicating the next 45 days to. And I look forward to working with all of you in that. I was honored, thanks to many of your support, to be a co-chair of the California delegation, and I look forward to that engagement. But I just want to thank you again for this real honor. I mean, I've known, of course, for many, many years of the Progressive Democrats for America, and it's an organization I admire. So to be recognized by you really means a lot, and I am truly grateful for the recognition.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Joining us. I know that you're really busy. We're lucky to get 10 or 15 minutes of your time. I don't know how you guys do it, that you're scheduled every 15 minutes to do something else.
No, well, this was important, and I have enjoyed interacting many times. I look forward to continuing to interact with the organization.
And if you want to hear more of Ro, you can hear him on Tom Hartman on Fridays, Ro.
Yeah, I come on to Tom Hartman. I come on three times a month for an hour town hall, and it's either on a Friday or a Monday, and I love doing it. I get so many great ideas on Hartman's show. So I really appreciate those who call in, and Tom is brilliant.
And just to say, finally, we did send along the actual physical award. It should be coming into the Santa Clara office. So
it was delivered to your Santa Clara.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I look forward to proudly displaying it in our office. I'm excited about that, and I'll proudly display it either in our Santa Clara office or bring it to DC and make sure that it's proudly displayed in our office. It's a genuine honor, and I was really thrilled when I heard from Ellen about the honor, and I hope to live up to it in the years ahead.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you ever so much. And Ro Khanna, you're a true champion, and we do look forward to working together for years to come, building the progressive movement and getting some real victories. Thank you so much.
It's a deal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.